edit, paste, or Control V on the keyboard. Now it pasted kind of big like this. You take it, woo, it's really big. So you can always shrink it down to your artboard if you want. Scaling out is Command minus, right? Command minus scales out, and you can shrink it down, shrink it down, shrink it down, and you can put it in your artboard. I don't have a very big artboard today. It's okay, it doesn't matter. As long as I can see my fruit somewhere in my artboard. Okay, now before I start drawing my strawberry, there's a couple things you can see. We're going to do a little shadow today. See the little shadow down there? I was trying to do a shadow last class and it wasn't working out, but there's a little shadow down there. I'm going to use the layers window a lot today, the layers window. In fact, what I might do is lock this fruit layer by using the layers window under layers and lock it so that I don't mess with it. And I might make a new layer above there to draw on. So this is the, and you can even name your layers. I might name this layer as the photo, because that's the picture of the strawberry. And then up here I might call it strawberry. So again, you can lock a layer so you don't accidentally move it, right? When you're on that layer, not moving it, not moving it. You also might want to, remember last class we were talking about making our own colors. Remember making the colors from last class? I'll review that again. To make your own colors, you can use the eyedropper tool inside of Illustrator. You can select a color from the photograph. Once it's selected, you can drag it into the or you can even make a new group before you start dragging. So even before you start dragging the pictures into the swatches window, again, if you don't see swatches, you can find swatches underneath the window swatches window under window swatches. So here under swatches now, you can make something called a new color group. It's kind of like a little folder. You delete swatches, your new swatch, new color group, and so on. So if I make a new color group, it's like a new folder. I'm going to call this one strawberry colors. Strawberry color. So if I make a new color group, there it is right there. I can drag in to that color group. And so we keep them all organized. So I'm going to choose another color and drag that in. Choose another color. Drag that in. Choose a brighter color. It has a lot of reflection in here. You don't need to do that much reflection. This has, you know, this picture is kind of deceiving because it's really high contrast to get that, but you know, you don't really need to do that. I'm just getting some colors. I'm not going to do as much contrast there. Though we will talk a little bit about a water droplet today that'll have some contrast. Oh, you might want your this nice color down here maybe. That's a nice strawberry color. There we go. Okay, so again, you can choose colors using the eyedropper tool and drag them into a color group so that they're all organized for you. And of course, you might want to get some green leaf color. There's a green leaf color. Maybe a darker green leaf color. Maybe a brighter green leaf color. There we go. So I have my basic strawberry colors, and I have a photograph. I made a new layer to draw on, and of course I know some of you, we talked last class about using the pencil tool to draw with it and using the simplify option, remember that? Or of course my favorite is the pen tool. Before I draw with the pen tool, I might turn the fill off right here. See the fill color? I might turn that off. So all I'm doing is, the reason why I might turn the fill off before I start drawing is so that color doesn't start showing up. All I'm going to do is draw with a line first, and when I'm done drawing with a line, then I can go back and fill it in with one of my red colors here. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so again, I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to draw with a fill and no fill and a stroke. To turn off a fill is just the red line right there. It says none, none. And then to draw, I tend to start at the top and work my way around. Again, I'm going to click with the mouse and let my mouse up. And I'm going to click and drag. Uh-oh, you notice it starts drawing with a red line. The reason why it's a red line it's drawing with and not blue is because I have a color right there. That's this color. And we can actually change that if you want. So this color, and the reason why there's a color in the layer window is that color in the layer window is recognizing the colors of the path, okay? That way you can actually alter and change it. The default is blue, but the problem was the blue layer that I have the photo in, I locked it, so I'm not drawing with that blue layer right there. I'm drawing with a new one on top, and that new one has a red one. I can actually change that by double clicking on the layer somehow. It'll bring it up. So if you double click on the layer in the layers window, you can bring it up, and I can change it to a different color. So I might want to draw with, since I'm drawing with a red strawberry, I probably don't want to draw with a red line because that'll be hard to see. How about we draw with, do we want to use the dark blue? Or we want to use green? We have green. How about yellow? Again, how did I get this window so I can change it? Is again, all I did was double click on the layer window in the layers window. If I double click right there, it'll bring up this layer options. In the layer options, you can see you can change the color. What color this is, again, is the color that the path will be as you are making it. The reason why they allow you to change it is just the simple case is what we have right now, whereas I'm drawing a red strawberry and I probably don't want a red line. So again, that's how I change it. Then see, you can see now I'm drawing with yellow. It might not be easy for you to see in the audience here, but it's easier for me. And again, I'm clicking and dragging to make my pass. You want to use the least amount of dots you can. Least amount of dots you can. Always go back to the beginning. So there's my strawberry shape. In my object with a color, to fill in my object with a color, you could, if you saved your colors, you can use one of those. If not, again, if not, you can always click right here on the fill by double clicking on it. And then again, there's a little dial right here. This is the hue. You got your RGB values, your HSB, and your CMYK. And then what's this little pound sign down here refer to? What kind of number is that? What kind of number? Hexadecimal is what it's called. Hexadecimal number. That comes from, of course, your web pages, right? This is how I can choose the color here and then go into my HTML and use the same color. In fact, I copy and paste from Illustrator right into Dreamweaver, from here to Dreamweaver. That way the stuff you're designing in Dreamweaver is the same as the stuff you're designing in Illustrator. So choose your color. I got my nice red. It's a little bright. I might use a little duller one. There we go. Next, I'm going to use my gradient mesh. Again, using the gradient mesh. You can actually move your shape away from your picture if you want, so you can see them both next to each other. I might move that away. I'm just going to drag it using the move tool away so I can actually see the strawberry photograph. You can always move it back on when I'm doing something else, you know, but while I'm doing my original gradient mesh, I'm just going to move it over there. You notice it's kind of darker on this side. There's a big light area right here, and it's kind of light around here. So again, to do the gradient mesh is this tool right here. It's called the gradient mesh tool. It's the like 6 or 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 down on the left side there. I'm going to kind of click in the middle over here. The reason why is I want to use this color that I have right here. This kind of, there's like a different color red right there. And I want to put that in there, and that's kind of like this. So after I click on the gradient mesh, I'm going to choose that different color. There it is. Then again, another way to put the gradient mesh is to actually click along the line. If you click along the line, it'll actually be easier for you to, because if you click next to the line, it's going to actually make another line. I don't really want too many lines. These lines represent, of course, blending from one color to the next. So I'm going to actually click along the line. It'll save me, and I'm going to make a bright one over there. Kind of a bright. Ooh, that's kind of too much. Ooh, that's nice and bright. Ooh, that's too much. It's not red enough. I'm going to make this a little bit kind of pinkish, but a little darker red. That's a little bit too bright. That's better. It still has some blue in it, doesn't it? At least the projector showing a kind of blue. My screen, it doesn't look like quite like that. Then of course there's this kind of brightness that goes along here. I might click right in the middle here and see what that does. There we go. And make these ones quite bright. I'm exaggerating a little bit here. Ooh, that's a little bit too bright. That doesn't look very good, but hey. I'm going to make these ones dark down here. Give me more of a dark value, more volume, dark, dark. Again, if you select a dot, you can use the eyedropper to suck up a color. Use the eyedropper. Yeah, it still needs some darkness along here. Maybe it's too bright over here. Maybe put one kind of right there. Ooh, that's really bright, isn't it? I'm going to do a dark red there. Contrast. You can always move your points. So you can move them around. Move them around. You can move them. It's important that you move them to the way that the contour of the shape is. That's a little bit better. I make my artboard bigger. It has kind of a bluish look, but really on my right, because I have a few points in there, they might not work. You use the Option key. Here, watch. So if I use the gradient mesh tool and I go over and I hold that, I go put my cursor over top of a point. I don't want this point. If I hold down the Option key, notice it gives me a minus, and if I hit delete, boom, it goes away. So those of you who like putting a lot of points down and don't want them anymore, again, the gradient mesh. The least points, the better. So, but doesn't that look pretty good? Gradient mesh is a great tool. Look at that, volumetric, looks like a real strawberry. Some things that I would do, let's just make one seed. I'm going to make one seed. Okay, and then of course you could duplicate it and rotate it a little bit to get it. That takes a lot of time. Woo! A lot of time. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to make a seed. To make a seed, where's there a little white spot right there? Look at that. There's a little white spot right there. I don't know what that is. To make a seed, now you don't use gradient mesh to make a seed. I know you would think that that would be great and make a perfect looking seed. The problem is it's going to be a large file because once you make a gradient mesh and then start duplicating it multiple times, the file size goes up, 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 up. And I've seen people get file sizes way too big. So, you know, make things simple. Probably the easiest seed that I have ever made was, again, we're going to learn a new tool here. Learn a new tool here. Hold on, let me stop this recording. Okay, to make a seed, usually what I do is, here, let's try a new tool. So a seed is kind of an oval, right? An oval shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make an oval, an ellipse. There's an ellipse tool. And I'm just going to draw a seed shape, like an oval, right? There it is. And of course the seed is going to be kind of dark, so I might use a dark color. But of course a dark seed that looks kind of plain, what you might want to do is have one color, one side of the color be one side of the seed be one color and the other side be dark, and that's really about it. And it's going to be so small people aren't going to notice that it's not a gradient mesh. So an easy way to make a seed is I'm going to take this object, that I just made that's a kind of a seed shape, and I'm going to cut it. To cut it, what I mean by cutting is I'm going to turn it into two objects, and I'm going to color one side. Because right now, let me make it a little bigger so you can see it. So right now I have a seed shape. What I want is this side to be light and this side to be dark. So right now it's one object, so I can only have one color. So the tool I'm going to use is called the knife tool, and it's not this one. This one's called slice, so don't think it's this one. This one's a totally different tool. The tool we're looking for is underneath the eraser. It's called knife. Knife. It's under the eraser tool. Eraser tool, knife. Once I use the knife tool, I can drag a line across my circle. So again, I'm going to go start from the top or one side of my circle and drag along my circle. I'm going to do it kind of wiggly a little bit. And what that does is it then cuts that object into two objects right now. And so what I have now is I have one object on one side and one on the other. So then I'm going to use my direct selection tool. I'm going to click off, and then I'm going to click on the one side, off, and then on the one side, and then I'm going to make this a brighter color. There we go. And it looks kind of like a bean seed, I guess so. And you can even do that again if you wanted a little highlight. Use your knife tool again. We want maybe a little bright area down the middle of my seed here. Cut it again. Use the selection tool. Click off, click on, and let's make that middle part a little bit brighter. Hey, that might even be a better looking seed. And it looks kind of like a bean, but hey, when it's shrink down, it's smaller. So that knife tool can be used to split an object up into multiple objects, and then you just kind of color it the way you think. It looks kind of like a coffee bean, doesn't it? Don't worry, we're going to get it on the strawberry, and we're going to make it look good on our strawberry once we get it. So see if you can use it. Again, it's called the knife tool. It's underneath the eraser tool here. It's called knife. And drag across an object, and you can cut it into pieces. Then when you're done, you might want to group them together because it sees them as separate objects. See how I click on them as separate objects? So what you want to do is you want to select all the objects. You can draw a box around it to select all the objects. And under Object, there's one that says Group. Under the Object pull-down menu, there's one that says Group. If you group them together, it keeps all three of those as a group. That way, when you click on it, it selects them all, because that way you're not selecting individual ones. Makes it easier for you to duplicate when they're all grouped. Now let me go over how to make it look like a seed. So we just did the shape. We didn't really make it look like a seed. To make it look like the seed, we're going to cheat. Okay, I'm going to put it over onto my strawberry. Oops, still a little big. I'm going to scale it a little bit, make it smaller. It's about seed size. There's something called a seed size. I'm going to zoom in. Here's my seed. So to make it look like it kind of floats inside of my object, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to use some highlight and shadow, or a drop shadow. Okay, because right now, if I look at my seed, it looks like it's just thrown on top of my strawberry. It doesn't look like it's sitting inside the strawberry. It just looks like it's floating there. It looks like it's floating there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, and underneath the effects window, there is some effects that you can use. The ones under Stylize are the ones that I use. A drop shadow will make it dark on one side, and then I might use an outer glow to make it glow. So I might use a drop shadow and outer glow to kind of give it that glow. If you look closely at a real seed over here, you see you have this kind of outer glow because the lighting is bouncing off there, and then you might have a dark area. See how there's like a little dark area underneath your seed? How you can do that sort of dark area under your seed and maybe a light area is using the effects. And those effects that I'm talking about are called Stylize, Drop Shadow. If you preview it, you'll see you get a little shadow, and you can move it around if it's too far away. That's the offset. So I'm going to put a little glow, a little dark glow on the side. And you can change it to different options to see how it looks. And then I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to put the outer glow on there. Again, it's under Stylize, Effect Stylize, and I'm going to put an outer glow on there. And I'm going to put a bright white one. I'm going to change the color to white. Ooh, that's too much. And of course, you can adjust it. Ooh, that's too much. It's not giving me an option to make it smaller, is it? Let's just give me an option. So maybe not outer glow. Let's try something else. Effects, stylize, outer glow, inner glow. Feather will blur it if you want. You can feather. That'll blur it a little bit. So your seed is kind of blurry. And then, I don't know, let's try inner glow. And then move it around. No. That doesn't look, oh, that doesn't look good. Now, let's see what else we can do. I want a light area on one side. Maybe glass. Ooh, that doesn't look good at all. Okay, maybe not glass. Glowing edges? What does that do? Ooh, that doesn't look good either. It's going to be one of these up here. At least the drop shadow gives it a little bit of a look. See how it kind of sits on top with the little glow and the drop shadow? Here, let's put it. At least the drop shadow gives it a kind of depth to it, a little bit. That way it kind of sits, and then I feathered it a little bit. Then, of course, if you want to make it look beautiful, you can use the option, click and drag, duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate. Of course, you know, you have a couple, 4 hours to do that. You can make a nice few seeds there. My seeds are a little big. But I just wanted to show you some new tools like the knife tool, the drop shadow. Okay, let's make a water droplet. I'm gonna,
the knife tool wasn't where you said it was.
it's not underneath the eraser tool?
Not for me.
No?
There's scale tool.
Okay, let me pause this. Okay, I'm going to try banana. I'm just going to start with a new document. Again, you don't need to necessarily start with a picture. You can have a vision in your head of what a banana looks like, right? I drew one on the board, kind of a shape of a banana, right? You can click with your cursor, make some shapes. Remember, I tried to make go one that goes all the way across like that. Banana shape. You might need to adjust it a little bit. There we go. Banana shape. This is going to cause more problems like this. You have to make sure you have a nice smooth object that doesn't have paths and directional arms that are crazy. You need the nice smooth directional arms. So the smoother the directional arms, the better. What I mean by that is this is going to cause a major problem right here. This directional arm. This might not work. The problem is if I try and put a gradient mesh here, this arm is crossing over, and it probably won't work. But let me just try real quick here. I'm going to have to get a picture probably because there's no way I'm going to be able to make a banana without looking at a banana. But what I was trying to explain is if I got a point here and then a point all the way over here, what I'm trying to do is get a line that goes kind of across the top here that gives you kind of the banana, has like a little flat area on the top. So if I use the gradient mesh now and I kind of click right here in the middle, I'm trying to get this kind of square area here, and it's actually kind of worked here, more of what I was looking for. I might, oops, see, that's going to cause a problem. Trying to get it, there we go. Oh, more of like that. Okay, so then I can put darker colors along the edge, darker yellows. Darker yellows along the edge. Oh, that's not going to work. And then darker one here. And a darker one here. So I get kind of the banana shape quite easily. The key to doing this, though, is that you want the gradient mesh to have a line that kind of goes down the middle here like this. And to do that, you want the least amount of points along the top here or along the edge. This has a little bit too many points already. So let's get a picture of a banana so we can work with that. That'd probably be better than trying to just make one up here. Picture of a banana. Not a bad banana shape though, right? Okay, let's get a picture of a banana. Might be easier. Uh-oh. Let's move this one out of the way. So I'm going to go find a picture of a banana on the internet, steal one like I usually do. Stealing is good. So we stole strawberry, banana. The banana. Banana. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it is. There's the banana. Okay, again, you can right-click and say copy image. Right-click and copy image. Go back to Illustrator and go edit paste. And if it's too big, like most likely it is bigger than your visible area, you might need to shrink it down. And then, again, the key to making a banana is to use the least amount of points you can with your, or how about this? We cheat and use the pencil tool, right? Oh, yeah. But that'll never put the points down where you exactly want them. I don't know, I might cheat. Try the pencil tool, try the pencil tool. I'm cheating. Cheating is good. Cheating, cheating, cheating. Pencil, 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 pencil. Pencil, pencil, pencil. Oh, all the way back to the beginning. So if I'm using a pencil tool to make it even smoother, remember we talked about making it smoother? To make it smoother after you draw with the pencil tool is to use the object, path, simplify, right? Remember doing that? That gets rid of some of the points. Ooh, that's going to cause a problem right there. What I mean by cause a problem, you can see there's like a loop of art up there. That's not good. We're going to have to fix that. Okay, I'm going to try it this way. So what I mean by there's a mistake up there, if I zoom in up there, you'll see there's like a path that's going woo, woo, woo. That's like, you know, making a loop of some kind. That's going to cause problems of something. So I'm going to try and move my point. Okay, there it is. There's like an extra point in there somewhere. See it? Like an extra point. We can either put it in the middle, like that. There we go. So if you see artifacts like that that are causing problems, you might need to fix them before you go ahead. Again, just like I did before with the gradient mesh, I'm going to fill in my ooh, is it banana's kind of like that. So we'll fill in my banana color. I'm going to use my gradient mesh, and I'm going to kind of click towards the top. Like I said, click towards the top. Ooh, that turned out pretty good except for over here. Look at that. It jammed. I wanted it to go to this point up here. And I don't think there's a way to control the gradient mesh. I can't control it going all the way up there. Maybe if I put a point there, it won't let me, will it? Oh, look at that. And that's going to cause more problems. I don't know. I'm going to try it. Oh, yeah, that looks messy. We're going to try it. I don't know if this is going to work well. So again, I'm going to make these points bright. Again, make this point bright. Maybe make this one a little brighter too. And then make the ones along the edge dark. Dark, dark. It's the wrong one. make this one dark. There we go. So dark along the edge. Dark in the bottom maybe. Give you some volume. Ooh.